Question: can you give any message to the youth? Youth in India are terribly lost, no direction in life, slowly heading towards disaster. They are terribly lonely, isolated, have no purpose in life. What direction can we invest in? Time is just going to waste. A sense of focus in everyday life, so lost and lonely. If you can give an insight, you have often mentioned in your many talks that you used to work day and night on yourself when you were young. How to give direction to this energy and time? Most of us just meander around. Very few stay focused on something. Listen with your full attention. Just sitting in front of endless Atlantic Ocean, watching it, and above is the blue sky, and the sun is blessing Atlantic, and this Spanish land filled by subtropic fruits, palms, and endless cactus plants. I found some time to respond this question, since here everything is heavily scheduled every minute, because there is no time. In Spanish language, it is called emergencia. It's a beautiful language. Urgencia in emergencia. I just read it, this word, and I'm learning Spanish. What is youth? What is the young mind? Young brain that observes, young brain, young mind that listens. Listens, observes, and in this process there is no trash of judgment and prejudices and preconcepts. That is young brain. But most of you are tortured, fatigued, tired brain. You don't have young brain, youngness, the young energy. I was just touching a palm tree, which is very young one, and it has enormous energy. I could feel it. I touched it, and it was full of exploding energy, and standing against the blue sky on the bank of ocean, Atlantic. Shashwat, when you listen this, can you then change totally, absolutely, because you are also included in this question. Youth in India are terribly lost. Surely they are lost. They are pursuing day and night only one thing, hunting jobs, applying for jobs, struggling for material things. Struggling eternally, and struggling is dissipating of energy. And then their parents also impose traditional marriages on them, so they struggle there. And young age, when your brain is fresh, you have still possibilities to change, but when you enter towards 40, 50, 60, then you are finished. I haven't seen this youthness, young energy in India. They were so tortured. They were so tortured, tired, and had no depth of life, no maturity, very immature. Maturity comes when you are responsible, you feel connectedness, you are vitally taking part in life. That's why youth also in Western world also lost in different things. Mostly they get prior mature due to industrial scientific influences here and enormous luxury life. So they turn towards drug addiction, alcoholism. They consume deadly drugs. Alcohol and cigarettes are very common. I went just very early morning to pick up the fresh fruits for this is what I am nowadays eating, and see the Atlantic again. I have seen yesterday, but I finished the things yesterday. Today I met Atlantic with a fresh eye, as I have seen never before. Such young eyes you need, that you don't hold any picture from yesterday. You don't hold any experience from yesterday. It should finish at that time. Yesterday I was watching incredibly sunset, and this sunset was emerging into the Atlantic and left golden light behind, and listening the waves of Atlantic Ocean And when the sun sat down, I didn't recorded this picture in my mind. My brain was free from that experience. When you gather the experience, your brain becomes loaded from these experiences. And when a person of experiences get loaded from these memories and his brain cells get broken, and you lose the youth, the young energy. You should never gather any experience, never say that I have meditated. If you ask me, you say that I was working day and night when I was young. I'm still young, what do you think? The most young brain. Einstein, before his death, said, my brain is expanding, and now it is the more younger than when I was in my youth. Because he always, when he got up from his bed early morning, he questioned everything. He said, why it is so? He questioned, and when you question why, your brain always is fresh, young, youth, full of youth. So you were saying that I was working day and night on me. Yes, day and night, because I know that for me it is reality that this time period is very, very limited. This is the birth and this is the death, and this is the journey of body which remains 80 years, 90, 100, 110, not more than that. And I know this is the only time what I can do. Otherwise, when this time is gone, actually the best time is from 15 to 20, 25. All the great genius in this age, they manifested their creation, geniusness. Afterwards is the downhill, yeah. And that time and today, it's expanding. It's never stopped. Also, bodily strength is enormous. Yesterday, before going to the beach, I did my daily exercise and I did the Shirshasana, but here in balcony it was slippery, so I just fell down on my ankle, foot. So foot was badly hurt, but I said to my foot that this is not time to sit down and go hospital and treat it. I have no time. You should heal immediately, because I want to go for a walk and see Atlantis. Beauty is waiting for me. So, but it took, now it is better. But I went afterwards. The other person would have slept whole day in bed, or sought a doctor. But when your brain is young, you can say to your body, it is a body intelligence. So I went afterwards about 20-30 kilometers after that injury. I don't record the pain, my brain doesn't record it. You record the incident, and that recording then play on, and then it makes you impossible. It blocks your energy. You understand everything? Don't ask me these things intellectually to entertain yourself and others, but implement it. Because Shashwat, you are having satsanga with bhoots, you are having bhoot satsangas, and you are wasting your life. This is the message. Yes, of course, they are heading towards disaster. If they are going to live like this, disaster is inevitable. It is going to happen because this is the disaster. They are terrible lonely, the Indian youth, surely lonely. Lonely means isolation, withdrawn. Not only youth I have seen in India, everybody is withdrawn mostly, isolated, and they are pursuing self-interest, continuously self-interest. And they have no purpose in life because there is no meaning in life, and such things cannot give you any meaning, because meaning in life is to live the life is meaning itself. When you pursue material things, you are going to fall in this disaster, not only for you, for the world. You will create very dangerous society, and which will end up to killing each other, exploiting each other, and corruption will be at the highest peak. These are the actually things which are coming from your wrong living. You have asked what direction can we invest in. Don't use this word investment. It is not an investment, share bazaar or New York Exchange, Wall Street. Invest is a very low down, ugly word, and it shows about your consciousness, that how deep you think, because what you think you are. So you are thinking in investment. Are you insane, Shashwat? Can't you see this word? This is not the word a youth will use it. You should ask here, what direction can we go for? Not invest. It's not an investment that you invest in a property, then it will become expensive in 2 years and then can you sell it. You are talking the language of profit, right? It's a greed. So before, in future, don't ask me such nonsense. Contemplate before what you're writing, which word you are using. It shows your whole consciousness. A sense of focus in everyday life. Again, you are using focus. Life is not to be focused. Are you aware a little what are you writing? Who told you these things? Focus is concentration. Don't use as never with me, okay? I'm not teaching focus, understand? I am teaching the awareness, not focus, not concentration. If you can give an insight, you have often mentioned in your many talks that you used to work day and night on yourself when you were young. I used to work, not I used to work, but that young energy was working, you know. You don't have that young energy. It is not that when you work then energy will come later. No, no, no. You should have energy first, then it operates, you know. Things are totally different what you are writing. You must have the clear foundation, then there is energy. When you perceive that time is so limited, physical time, then you won't waste it. Then you want marriage and create ugly children, and they will create more ugly children and create a concrete flat where you live in darkness and walk 40, 50 years in hospital, sorry, in a office or in factories, and then come back at evening tired, fatigued, bullied by your boss. Such torture things, such torture life is a hell, you know. How you accept it? How can you? You are here on this world, in this beautiful earth, to uncover the beauty, the love, compassion, and finally truth, you know. But you pursue these things because it's the wrong teachings. I used to work because it was a passion, curiosity, energy, and I was searching the absolute freedom, not only for me but for the entire humanity. Because when you are free, that freedom, that absolute liberation has an impact to other human beings. Whole entire humanity is vibrating from that liberation. It is not small things, you know. Your liberation is the liberation, opens the door for other beings. So I was not working, I was not doing any so-called nonsense sadhanas. It was for me very serious thing, you know. So it is that energy was working, you know. And in this work there was not a result oriented work, you know, no results. I don't wanted any results that I will get enlightened or get very higher, or no, because then you are down again, because when you get something, you know, so you are again in the same ugly getting and giving nonsense of supermarket language. What is the language of supermarket? This is the same language of your so-called commercial guru master. They say, do this thing, do these three things, you will get that things, love and this. Do early morning this, do this meditation, then the universe will open the door for you. It is such a poisonous thing. Do you think when the universe is depending on your doing, if you do this, then it will give you it? You see that? So be careful. Things are very, very fine, you know, very sophisticated, very aristocrated, you know. If you don't have that aristocrated, royal brain, then you are bound to be lonely and lost and will have no youth. And don't think that I am still not working. Work never finished. I don't work, but the work works for me, you know. I don't lose any energy through this working. When I arrived in Spain after 5 hours flight, mostly people sleep and tired, but immediately I was received from friends, and he says that I said that let's go to Atlantic. He says, but you should rest. I have very huge apartment here to stay only for me. He says just rest, and I say no. I have rested in flight. When people were chit-chattering, I entered in the world of timeless land. And when I landed, I was fresh, young, full of youth, not tired. And I said, I just washed my face in my flat and washed my hand, and I said, let's go. And he says, I will come a couple of hours. So I say, I won't wait. I went alone to the ocean because it's for my, I just watching. I'm talking to you and I'm watching right now there, ocean. You know. So I just rushed that I never seen. And however, I have seen it many times in previous, in California, in America, and in France. But for me, it is always new that I never seen before. You know, that is youth. Never say that I have experience of love, I have experience of truth, and I am enlightened. A person who says this, he is a fake and fraud, because you can't say I am enlightened. It is not a fixed thing that you have enlightened, then you are holding on it, you know. It's nonsense and idiotic. Your all these daddy babas, you know, these are all 99.9% or 100% fake, and their enlightenment is fake, you know. They are befooling, because that is every moment enlightenment is taking place, you know. You can't say hold it that I am enlightened, you know. It is a process. It's not in time, not in that it will happen, you know. It is every moment incredibly ever young and ever fresh. It is never old. That's why it is never new, but it is beyond old and new. It is eternal reality. Now, last, how to give direction to this energy and time. Most of us, we just meander around. Every few stay focused on. Again, you are talking in the language of focus. What has happened to you? You want actually focus, don't you? Because it is showing your whole consciousness that you are in the search of to focus, to hold on something. But don't do that. It is very dangerous. This is the thing which will lead you again in isolation and destruction. How to give direction to this energy? You don't need to give direction to energy. Energy itself is the direction. You have to save the energy, don't dissipate it, then there is direction. Then you will turn in the right direction, because when energy is gathered, it then turns in a right direction. Do you understand? My message is for youth: never collect any experience in your brain. Don't get hurt and don't hurt others. Never get hurt. A person who gets hurt is a tremendous egoistic, very dangerous person, and he will hurt again others. So your brain always remain youth and young, and die every moment to the past. Every incident, every memory, every hurt, die each moment, so you can reincarnate each moment afresh. Namaste.